All right, what's up? We are live again. There's about 37 of you who are wondering what the hell is going on, who are in the chat. We just tried to go live. It turned out somehow we were in kid mode accidentally, so there was no chat. People couldn't minimize it. I don't know why people can't minimize a YouTube video if it's in kid mode. That's a weird
Small enough already
from YouTube. But we're back now. So live chat is back on, but we'll redo the whole intro as if we didn't do it. We'll do some acting here. Survivor 50 full preview. Got myself, Nate, John Rich, Clemmer, the usual crew, and very special guest, Stephen Fishbach. You may know him best from Survivor itself, Survivor 18, Token Cheens, the runner-up. Came back for Survivor Second Chances, does stuff with Rob Sesternino, and Rob has a podcast, Survivor Podcast, and now newestly known as a novelist. His new novel, Escape, out now. You can buy it at stephenfishbach.com. Clemmer's wife just read it. And bookstores, yeah. And
yeah, I'd heard that, Clemmer. That's amazing.
True. Yeah. My wife did read the book. So I told her last time, we're having Stephen on because she goes Survivor. And she's, I just read his book. She actually listened to the audio version, the audio book. She loved it. Said it was a really quick read, and make sure I told you how good it was. So,
well, thank you so much, and thank your wife so much. And the audiobook is great, as people who reviewed the previous version of this would know me. But it's got great narrators, and it seems to be winning awards. So I recommend for the audiobook or the physical book, either one. Nice. Both.
And she thought it was fantastic. So it's on my list too. I know it's on Tommy's list too. So there you go.
Yeah, Steven sent it to me, and I said I go in and out of reading mode. I've been out of reading mode. I'm back in, and it's next up. And also shout out to, this made me laugh, Levi in the chat, just happening to ask, by the way, what is Clemmer's wife's opinion on the book? Don't worry, we got to it. He had a feeling that Clemmer's wife might have read Escape. But yeah, we are here to preview Survivor 50. We did a kind of mini one after the cast got announced. I think that was back in May. But we've got we're 1 week out officially from the premiere. Tribes announced and everything. All the trailers are out. CBS is airing their old Survivor episodes every night now. Overall, what is everyone's excitement level for season 50 right now? Steven, let's start with you.
Okay, I'm very hyped. I'm extremely excited. I'm looking forward to a lot of these players. Both some of them I know personally, and I'm rooting for them as friends, and then some are just legends of the game. I'm looking forward to the new format with 8 players on each tribe. I think that's going to make it a lot more fun. I feel like the 6-person tribes were getting stale, and looking forward to the eras, the conflict of the eras. We got someone from season 1 and someone from season 49, so that I think that's going to be cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm also looking for that too. Like just the era, seeing these people that were in seasons 1, 2, seeing Colby, with some of the people from the new era, like that. I'm all in on that.
I think when we did our last pod, we were like, man, it'd be awesome to watch 2 people like Colby and Q have a conversation. And now seeing that they are on the same tribe together is perfect. I'm excited. I'm going to be honest. There's a tiny part of me that's like, because you saw the trailer for Survivor 50, the first one they put out, and it starts with Boston Rob and Tony and Sandra and Parvati. It's there is a part that's damn, I do wish it was kind of maybe we had, Boston Rob and Parvati instead of Tiffany. But I am still very excited. I think it's a good mix of old casting and new casting. Anytime when you get to watch Suri or Coach play Survivor, I'm going to be excited. Ozzy play Survivor. I'm a sucker for the old school names. As it gets closer, I am getting very excited, and they're doing a really good job of, such a crazy push by CBS, rightfully so, to make sure everybody's watching. I'm excited, and I truly think I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, I would say the push has been very strong by CBS. I like that they're all in on it, and I think as far as the cast goes, it's a lot easier to nitpick about who you wish was on the cast than to appreciate who is on the cast. Yeah. It's impossible to cast a perfect season 50. There's just so many people everybody wants to see. They have to include new people because you have to build new stars, and you have to include the old people who everybody already loves or hates. I find it hard to have any problem with this cast.
I kind of like that it is sort of a hodgepodge. To me, that's part of the appeal. It's not just the standard array of legends. You have a few of those people, and then you have the WTF people.
Yeah, I think I just wish maybe there were a few less New Era people. If I had a nitpick, I'd be like, maybe it was like if you did 8 1 to 20, 8 20 to 40, and 8 for New Era 41 to now. I think maybe would have been ideal. But listen, no more nitpicking about who should have been on the cast. This is the cast, and from now on, we're all focused on Survivor 50, just the season itself. A lot of pregame content and everything. People doing a great job out there. Mike Bloom, Dalton Ross, people, ton of great stuff. Next episode Wednesday. I was figuring today we'll go through each tribe one by one. Now that we know the tribes, kind of go by each player. What are our expectations for them? Maybe look at each tribe, like what's a possible alliance? Maybe some predictions. Chat now that we're out of kid mode. Any questions you have or opinions that you want to chime in? Feel free. But yeah, very excited. Let's start.
And we'll do winner picks. Do we do jib cuts in the preview episode? I don't know.
We could do a jib cut. I know Steven's got the fishies. Steve, this is the marriage of the fishies and the jib cuts.
Huh?
Okay. Fish cuts.
And I do want to say one thing. People were complaining a lot about the preview that we saw at the end of 49, which was like the Mr. Beast idol and the Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon thing. I don't really have a problem with that, to be honest. If the whole season is, Mr. Beast and Jimmy Fallon, like that would be bad. But if it's just going to be like, hey, this challenge is Jimmy Fallon's idea, I think that's fine.
Okay,
Anything Survivor can do to get into the cultural zeitgeist currently, I think they should try. As long as it doesn't mess with the integrity of the game, I personally have no problem with it.
Yeah, Tommy, you said it at the end there. If it messes with the game itself, not great. People are pre-complaining about stuff that they don't know will or will not happen. If it plays out in the worst possible way, where the Billie Eilish idol is like a determining factor of something huge, and it like really does screw up the game, then we can be upset. Pre-complaining that they're just trying to be culturally relevant, I'm not about to do that. I'm hoping that the Billie Eilish idol, this is going to be a crazy analogy. Jon Stewart, the Daily Show host, once was a determining factor in a wrestling match that like cost John Cena the title to Seth Rollins, and wrestling fans hated that because like, why is Jon Stewart involved in something this big? That's bad. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think Mr. Beast is getting a jury vote.
Right.
and like Survivor's always had corny like product tie-ins. Like they had
Jack
like the Jack and Jill reward, like
Gulliver's
they had
Travels, right?
yeah, just like the worst, like corniest parts of the show. It's been there the whole time. I feel like this is just like the 2026 version of that.
I also
have
don't
you
like
ever watched?
Okay, John.
Sorry, I was going to say, have you guys ever watched Beast Games at all? Like any of his like game show stuff?
I actually love Beast Games. I'm a huge Beast Games fan.
So he's really big on like every 10 seconds of that show is essentially like a major twist. So it would be kind of funny. I'm not saying like good, bad, whatever. If you really let Mr. Beast get in there and make some big crazy twist, if he does anything about Beast Games, that could get off the rails. But,
well, it looks like there's a
right,
coin.
I
There's a
doubt
coin
they
to
really
flip, like they do in Beast Games. It might be like a double the prize pot coin.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying. Like something like that would kind of make.
Yeah, I just think people who are like, oh, this is the Mr. Like, I bet Mr. Beast is on the screen for less than 10 minutes the entire season, and that might even be a lot.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
I don't know if this is just me. I sort of keep forgetting it's called In the Hands of the Fans. Like, I kind of forgot about the whole voting thing. Where we voted on tribe colors. There is going to be a live reunion to announce the winner, and then we just kind of voted vaguely on more or less twists, things of that nature. The final four, fire making. I kind of have completely forgot about that factor. I don't know if I'm alone in that.
You're not alone. I just go back one real quick to the having celebrities. I think this is a good idea to do this season. I just anecdotally, I know people who are like, oh, I haven't watched Survivor in so many years. I'm going to watch this season. I've never watched Survivor because of traders. I'm going to watch this season or the 50 or whatever the appeal is. I feel like this is the time to kind of swoop in and get a new audience. Survivor has one of the most, if not the most loyal audience in network TV. And if you can get that to grow 10, 15, 20% for the next season, that's huge. And this is the time to do it. So, you know what? We've all loved Survivor for 20-something years now. Like, if they're going to have kind of a sellout season of sorts, I'm willing to be forgiving to a point.
Also, I think Survivor has I think the other time Survivor had a chance like this to really get back into like the four, because this is what we always say, Steven, and I'm sure you agree with this. Like, obviously, Survivor's I don't watch any other reality shows. It's my favorite reality show. It's the best reality show, but undeniably and unfortunately, it's not really in like, I keep using this term. I don't even really know what it means, but the cultural zeitgeist in the way that like a trader, like traders, I think if you compare the ratings, Traders is less watched than Survivor. But for whatever reason, it feels like it's like more people are talking about
newer.
Traders.
It doesn't feel like
it's like a younger audience too.
It's come back though. I gotta say, post-pandemic, like there's like pre-pandemic, I think Survivor was this dinosaur, and post-pandemic, it does like people were watching it on Netflix. They started putting up the seasons. It really seems like it's more culturally relevant now than it was even just a few years ago.
I do think what I was about to say is I do think it's a shame that Survivor 41 was so god awful, because there are so many people that binge a bunch of Survivor over the pandemic. Like so many people, I know even from Twitter, people reaching out, and the fact that they came back with maybe the worst season of all time sucks. Not that it was totally their fault, but that did hurt. But hey, we'll get them back with Survivor 50. But yeah, I mean, it's not like Survivor still does very well in the ratings, but hopefully this is a way where it's like another conversation where like people are at work, like, did you see Survivor last night, and things of that nature. Any other general Survivor shit before you want to get into the tribes, Eric?
Oh no, I was just saluting to General Survivor.
Yeah, shout out General Survivor. I want to start with we'll go tribe by tribe. I want to start with this Vatu tribe, the purple one. This is, I think, maybe the most interesting group of people. So here we have Angelina, Aubrey, Genevieve, Stephanie, Rizzo, Q, Kyle, and Colby. You have a tribe with Angelina and Q right off the bat. I think is incredible entertainment. Cranky Colby, Rizgod doing whatever Rizgod does, and then you have like some more kind of normal people. This tribe could be I think this could be our chaos tribe.
This looks like a setup to be the chaos tribe. I mean, looking at the others, they all have like big characters, but like, of course, you know, you've got Coach right on the teal tribe, whatever they're called, Callao. But like this tribe has got like the biggest sort of like goofiest characters, and then also to have Q with Aubrey, who like he voted out Mariah on his season because she likes Aubrey. It's just like really set for antics.
Yeah, I think also like I'm trying to think of a possible alliance. Yeah, Q and Aubrey even said that in her pregame, right? Did you see that? There was some clip of everyone's been doing great pregame coverage. I can't give credit to who did what, but there was some clip with Aubrey. She was like, yeah, like I'm looking at Q because Q literally voted her out because of me. Angelina, I'm so excited to see play Survivor again. She's someone that should have been back sooner, but just literally like her, Devins, Christian, none of those people have had the opportunity. There's only been one returnee season since they played in the late 30s, and that was all winners. None of them won. Angelina, just the jacket is an all time. It's just all time.
But everything with her, she has so many all time. Like that happened to be her best moment, but we're just like so many great, like her ladder, story about climbing the ladder. I mean, there was just tons with her, like the rice negotiation. There was just like she had so many greatest hits.
Let's go through one by one. So we got Angelina. She came in third, Survivor 37th, David versus Goliath, lost to Nick. Mike White was in that final three with her too. Expectations for her this season, I'm going to say she's either a very early boot for being annoying, or she could kind of pull the role she did in 37, where if she's around long enough, she could just be a goat that gets taken to the end.
I agree with you, Tom. I'm going to go through everybody. I agree with you. I think Angelina is big hit or miss. I think more miss, though. If you said where does she fall, I think she's going to not make the merge. If you
do you think that tribe sees her as like a threat to win? No,
nobody in the world sees her as a threat to win.
So I think she's going to lag, because I think all these people know the game, and they're not going to get somebody. They're not going to bother voting somebody like that out real quick. Would just kind of be like my sense for like the game in general.
I'm looking at like what the possible like groupings are here. I mean, Colby and Stephanie were on the Heroes tribe and Heroes versus Villains. I'm sure they're going to group up. I feel like Rizzo's going to be their like fanboy. You know, I know JT is his favorite contestant of all time. I feel like he's going to geek out at being on a beach with Colby. You know, Genevieve and Kyle seem like a natural duo. They're both lawyers. They're both like back-to-back seasons. They're also both just like rational people on a tribe full of like nuttier contestants.
Well, super smart too.
Both really, really smart. And Aubrey's
think,
probably in that group too. So like, I feel like Angelina could be an outlier, and I feel like Q could be in trouble too.
Yeah, I was trying to think who like hangs out in the Survivor world together. Like a Genevieve and Kyle definitely see each other at like Survivor fan meetups and stuff. And Rizzo went back-to-back seasons, so nobody's met him on his entire tribe. They're not going to know who he is at all. And then it just doesn't seem like Angelina has any friends. So maybe it's like recency bias. Rizzo has a really good brain. Is he can be able to survive being the one that nobody knows? It's such an easy person to get rid of. We don't know this guy. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Steve.
No, I just like people always say that they have the stranger danger, but they never act on it. You know, like I think like before the season starts, you have the sense of, oh, like I got to get rid of the new guy. You know, they definitely said that about Russell. You know, they definitely said that about Malcolm when they went back to back. But then when it actually starts, like I think you just get into the grooves of like, what do I actually know? You know, I've seen these people play. Like I can sort of like interact with that, and you kind of forget about the person you don't know. I actually like think because of that Rizzo is going to go pretty deep, and also Savannah maybe too.
I think Rizzo has a good personality for this too. Like he's pretty likable. He's also like pretty like he's willing to like be. He's not a quiet like little flower in the corner. Like he's willing to go up and he's willing to talk to people. I think he is such a fanboy. I mean, a lot of these people are giant fans of the show, but like I think he can like win over a guy like a Colby. If you had to pick someone in this tribe, I think is most likely to be the first one out. You would easily be Q here, even more than Angelina. I think Q really has his work cut out for him here, especially with this grouping. I feel like.
So a couple things. I think that it's very different from Russell, where it's like Russell played one season and they were like, okay, he's one of the 5 biggest male villains ever, and he's coming back, right? You don't know why Rizzo is brought back. But I think after you spend like 10 minutes with him, you're probably like, oh, he's like a funny Christian type character where he's a big super fan, like self-deprecating, funny. And I think people are going to be like, he's not a threat in the way that like Russell's a threat. Now he is a way better strategic player and game player than I think people probably are going to expect just based on like his like presence. But I agree. I don't think he'll be a big target. I do wonder like Kyle and Genevieve to me are people that could be targets right off the bat where they're both really good players. They played very recent. Kyle literally won. Is there a chance that everyone else is like, guys, we know how good they are. Sure, Q is kind of crazy and Angelina's annoying and Colby's old and grumpy, but why are we not going to get out the people who we know are really good players who don't really have like a negative asset to their game?
I mean, yeah, that's what John was saying, right? Like, who's like, no, they're not going to be worried about Angelina because she's like less of a threat to win. Then you look at Genevieve.
Yeah.
I mean, and you could even make that case with Kyle because he's won. Like maybe Genevieve is like the easiest early target here because everyone knows she's a great player. She's so charming, and you know, she's like there's no negatives, so like that's like the biggest negative.
Yeah, I almost think that like in a all new season of Survivor, the way it usually works is you sort of are drawn to the more normal people, right? And the wackier ones are viewed as the early boots. I almost feel like in a returnee game, the more normal ones, like you already know they're normal because they're really good. Like stick with the wackadoos and take them as far as you can. I kind of think is how I would play it.
I mean, Q quit like 4 different times in his season and they never got rid of him.
Yeah.
It depends on the wackadoo though. Like Q, I don't know if I need to trust the person. And Q, I feel, is less trustworthy than Angelina in that I don't know which direction he's going to go. Is he, like Nate said, he's going to just quit on me? Is he going to change up his? I just don't know where he's going to exactly fall. He's not like the crazy I want to build an alliance with.
And he might have even a bigger head this time because what was his job last time? Wasn't he like bragging about being a millionaire?
Yeah, real estate.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Real estate. Like he was bragging all his money. Well, now I see his jobs listed as he's a Q skirt inventor. So he's got a little bit of like of a life, like his own like thing he originated outside of the game. I think he might be even cockier this time around.
Yeah, I think so. Here, I'm going to make the executive decision, and maybe these are things we could have discussed before the show. But guess what? That's not what we do, and we're accidentally in kid mode for 5 minutes. For God's sake, we'll generally talk about each tribe instead of every player one by one. I think that's a worse conversation. But I think every tribe we should each pick most likely to win, least likely to win, and a jib cut on each tribe. Someone you're saying, I'm glad that they're back. Wow, or a fishy if you want to, Steven. Even though I know
jib cuts.
What we're gonna do? 3 jib cuts.
Yeah, I like jib cut.
I'm trying to think what else. Stephanie is someone that like was my first Survivor crush. Like when she was in before Guatemala, Palau was her first season, right? That she came back for Guatemala. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I feel like she could be a pariah, right? Like isn't she like kind of out there now?
Well, post show, yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like her relationship with Colby, like they were actually played together. And I think nothing ever really trumps that bond. I made that mistake when I was on Cambodia. I kind of just forgot, like, oh yeah, Spencer and Tasha, they played together, but now they're on opposite sides. But no, they were always secretly together. And like those bonds, like I think that's just such an instantaneous thing. Plus, like these guys have been, in the scene for so long. Like they were actually, famous. Like Colby was actually famous, not like reality TV, whatever that is. But so like I feel like
for God's sakes.
So like I feel like those two are gonna be, I don't know, connected.
I feel bad saying this, and I don't know if you never played with her. I don't know if you have a relationship with her. I'm just bummed Aubrey's back. And listen, she's done nothing wrong to me personally, but she's just somebody where it's like we've seen her game, I think, in every way we can see it. We've seen her play 3 times. We know what she is. She's a really smart player, but like I don't think she's like that entertaining or I just feel like her Survivor story is sort of written in my book, and I would have rather gone to somebody who's only played once. To me, it's like for her to be a 4-time player, to be up there with the other names that have played 4 times is like, why? What am I missing here?
I mean, the only thing I'll say about Aubrey is that she played 3 times within like 3 years or like 4 years, which is insane.
True.
Like I feel traumatized by like my 2 times spaced out over 10 years, I mean, like to have gone through that, like, no wonder, Edge of Extinction was not her, which was her 3rd season. Her 3rd season was not like her finest hour. And now she's had some time away, some time to process. I think now she's a mom. So I actually kind of like, I always like those stories when someone's like been away for a while and now like, let's see what they can do this time, in a way that I still kind of want Russell Hantz to have one more shot, see if he can mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. Tommy, you're her number 1 hater for sure. You were saying that.
So I remember I like soft launched that take on our original Sorry 50, and it almost made me pro Aubrey because there were some people that were like, yeah, fuck that, I can't believe she's back. I was surprised that I don't hate Aubrey. I think I kind of wish I did. Like I wish that I felt more strongly about her. I wish she was a character that I felt more strongly about. But to me, it's just like she's like, I'm not sure why she's coming back again. Like I would have rather gone to somebody in that like late 30s era who hasn't had a chance to play again, I guess.
So you want to do your winner, loser, and jib cut for purple?
Yeah. Clemmer, start with you.
Sure. Winner pick is my winner pick for the game, Genevieve.
For purple.
I know, but I'm also saying it's also my winner pick for the game. Is Genevieve. I think she if I had to pick someone, I think she has kind of the qualities to win, super smart, hasn't won before. Played recently enough where I think she's ready to go. She's not going to have like we've seen it sometimes with some of these older players. They have like kind of this hangover syndrome where they've been gone just way too long. I think she has a lot of great attributes to win this game. Loser.
We'll go each.
Just the winner.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. John Rich, you go.
For winner?
Most likely to win from this tribe, yeah.
I kind of like Kyle because I think Kyle's as good a player as anybody, and people who are maybe a little older probably don't respect him as much just because he's newer, and I think he's probably not a target, and he's as smart as anyone. So I'll go Kyle.
The only thing is he is the most recent winner they saw. Like they saw him win in May of 2025, and then in June of 2025 they went to tape this. So I worry that he's going to be real fresh on their minds.
But they would no one's going to expect somebody to win twice in a row, right?
True. You could take that. Could take
Yeah.
that thinking as well.
Kind of like
Nate.
I'm with Clemmer, Genevieve. I've always just liked the way she played. I know when we did the podcast during 47, we all thought that she had a very, very good chance to win. She ended up finishing 5th, but great head on her shoulders, was very good player, very calculated. I have nothing bad to say about Genevieve.
Steven?
I'm going Kyle too. I was kind of convinced that, Genevieve is going to be a big target because she came off as so strict, like for all the reasons you guys are saying she's going to be the winner.
Right.
And I also kind of see them as being maybe an early pair, but then when if Genevieve does get voted off early, I feel like he might be able to sort of slip through because of that. Like, oh, his ally's gone now. And like, then now let's deal with other stuff. And we've seen him play, I feel like he's the total package. He's got like, the social game. He's super strategic, but he's also kind of able to take that background role like he did with Joe in a way that I think is going to work really well in this group. So I'm going Kyle too.
So you guys are split 2 Kyle, 2 Genevieve, and I think they are undeniably the 2 best players on this tribe. But that's why I just can't pick them, is because we know that, so they all know that too on that island. This might seem crazy. I think I'm going to go with Colby. Just hear me out. I don't think he's going to be a threat early, right? He's older, but he's athletic enough where it's not like we got to get him out. And I do think that if he can, here's Colby's issue, is he's proven very resistant to evolving with the game. Like even here in Heroes versus Villains, like he's never been the master strategizer or anything. But if he's learned anything, if he can just pull a few moves, I do think there's a chance that there's sort of idol worship there too. Like we mentioned with Rizzo and a lot of these new era players where like, it's fucking Colby, like it's Colby. And that if he somehow gets to the end, I think there's a chance people are like, it's fucking Colby, guys. Like we gotta finally get Colby his win. I didn't expect to pick him, but the more we talk about it, I feel like he's never going to be a big target. Like he's not going to be a target early. He's not even going to be a physical target in the merge because he's not as athletic as he used to be. He could very, very easily float through this game, I think.
I mean, Tommy, I respect you romanticizing Colby, but what you just said is, well, he's not a very good social player. He's not a good physical player, and he's never strategized. I appreciate you like having this love for him. I think we all do. It's Colby. And as Fish said, like he was famous. Like he was legitimately famous back in the day when Survivor was like, what was it called? What did you say, Tommy? Cultural zeitgeist?
In the cultural zeitgeist, yeah.
I don't love your pick, but I am rooting for it's impossible not to root for Colby.
He's not a good player anymore. and maybe that I shouldn't be picking it. But to me, I just think a season this stacked, I would be very surprised. And maybe I shouldn't say it because, like, think about Sandra winning Heroes versus Villains, right? Like, Sandra isn't known to be really, I mean, she's won twice, but she's not known to be great at any aspect. She's a great social player, but, like, she's not this dominant physical threat or dominant strategic threat. Obviously, what hurts my theory is Tony winning 40 was just a guy with a big target on his back coming in and playing one of the I think the greatest game of all time is Tony in Winners at War. But I just feel like a season this big, you're very unlikely to get somebody dominate from start to finish, and you're almost more likely to get a kind of accidental winner. And I think Colby can accidentally win this season.
Wow, just ringing endorsement. The rule about Tony is just generally like Tony breaks all the rules. Like he's that good that you like don't use him as a model because he's just like he does things that nobody else can do.
Yeah. So you throw him out, but like, Amber won Survivor All-Star. She wasn't viewed as like I mean, obviously Boston Rob like did a lot, but like Amber, the actual winner, wasn't viewed as like played this dominant game. Parvati would probably be an exception, but that was half.
Jeremy played a great game in Cambodia. He was super dominant.
Yeah, true, very true. But that cast was so stacked. That was such
true, very true.
You didn't have any accidental winners in there, or no? I guess, well, no offense, but Game Changers was the one where it was like Haley Ford's a game changer, right? Though, or see, like with those that was so crazy. Yeah. All right, and then person I don't think has any chance to win from. I mean, there's no way Angelina is ever going to win Survivor, right? I'm going to go with her.
We'll all get on board that.
I'm going Q, but
Yeah.
they're not going to let Q win.
I don't think Rizzo can win. I think Rizzo comes off as like too young. Even if he's not too young, he's like 25, 26. I feel like his like energy is too young. And the only pro for Rizzo is like maybe you get like some bitter votes going his way. Or he plays a great game. Like we've seen him play a great game. But I just feel like his energy is so youthful that with this like older group, a lot of parents on this cast, like a lot of parents on this cast. I think it's going to be unlikely that they will vote for someone with like so much boyish energy.
There's only 3 people in their 20s in the entire show this time around: Rizzo, Charlie, and D. Everyone else is 30.
Rizzo was so cocky in his season with the whole idol thing, and I started saying like I'm surprised everybody hasn't not fans, the people there with him haven't turned on him just for being so arrogant and so cocky. I don't know how that'll play great with people that he was a level above everybody he played with for the most part. I don't think that will work in a game where everybody should theoretically be on the same level.
I think he'll adapt though. Like he'll know he's dealing with a different caliber of person.
Right.
I think he's smart enough.
Hopefully, yeah. If he can slow it down, yeah.
I think he can.
We'll see if Rizgod can slow it down, yeah.
So it's been reported that, or from like pregame stuff, that basically I don't know how, but it got leaked to this cast that Savannah won 49. Like people are going in sort of knowing, not officially, but sort of thinking that Savannah won 49, which does help Rizzo because otherwise there's a chance. Although honestly, even if that didn't get leaked, I think people would have just figured it out because it's like, all right, that tribe of 8 has one winner. The other tribe of 8 has one winner.
But
there's 8 of us. I know 7 of us haven't won, but like, so I think they probably would have figured that out.
Even if they haven't, though, that helps Rizzo.
It helps Rizzo that it's like, all right, Kyle's on this tribe. He's the winner on this tribe. Like, I think Rizzo will be able to like stay in the shadows a little bit and make a decent run. And the person I'm most excited to see play again is easily Q. I thought Q, he's one of the most engaging and memorable characters of the new era. I do think he at time showed the ability to play a really good Survivor game, but also showed the ability to play like the worst Survivor game ever. So I'm excited to see if he could like put the pieces together.
He's unpredictable, which can be good.
Is that what our jib cut is? Picking the person we're most excited to see?
Jib cut / person you're most excited to see.
So mine would be Colby. I mean, I saw Survivor season 2. I was in my college dorm room. I was loving this show. And you guys are right. It was beyond reality famous. Like Steve was saying, it was a different level. And I was rooting for him. I was bummed when Tina won. I've been a Colby fan since 2001. So I'm really excited to see him play again.
I think I'm going to go. I mean, it's between Q and Angelina for me. It's so tough. Like they're really 2 of my all-time favorite characters on the show. Angelina was just so great, but like Q I feel like he, even in his pregame interviews, like everything he says, he's like, doesn't trust Emily Flippin because she, drinks Diet Coke and eats pork chops with her left hand or something, right? Like, I mean, like that's gold. Like, how do you do better? You literally couldn't come up with something like that. So I feel like I got to go Q too.
Yeah, Q will be great TV. He'll have a couple crash outs. He'll say outlandish things. He has a 0.00% chance of winning Survivor in any timeline in any universe. But I'll appreciate his airtime that he gets.
Yeah, me too. I'm with Q, what I said earlier.
All right, let's move over to the Callao tribe, the Teal tribe.
Hello.
We've got Charlie, runner-up on Survivor 46, the Taylor Swift lover betrayed by Maria, cost him $1 million, I guess I should say. Chrissy, runner-up on Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers, the worst named Survivor season ever. But somebody I'm very excited to see back. I thought she should have beat Ben. Coach needs no introduction. D, winner of 45. Nate's guy, Jonathan. Steven, I'm sure you don't know this, but Nate during Jonathan season 42 had the biggest crush on Jonathan ever. I mean, rightfully so. Hunking man.
Yeah, truly.
When he lifted the world up on that ladder,
when he
Camilla,
saved his whole tribe from like this drowning, single-handedly swam them.
Yeah, didn't he like beat a storm? He like defeated a hurricane with his bare hand.
Yeah,
I've watched it back a few times. If you recall, there was a legit tsunami coming through, and every other tribe was basically more or less drowning, and he just held his entire tribe up in one single-handedly.
He's stronger than weather.
It's the most incredible performance in Survivor history because I think Jeff was about to cancel the challenge and Jonathan still won it.
And then we also have Camilla, who just finished in 4th and 48 from them, had the duo with Kyle. That could also put a target on their back. Mike White, another guy who needs no introduction since finishing 2nd on David vs. Goliath, has created one of the most popular shows ever in White Lotus. And then Tiffany, who was kind of the how is she back of this season, I would say. She finished 8th in 46. She had the rivalry with Q, right? Like, kind of, I think.
Why is she not on Q's? Like, everyone else in this group is like Final Four, except her.
Yeah.
And she, like, the whole reason for Tiffany is like Tiffany and Q. Like, why, like, how is she not like swapped with Angelina or Aubrey? Like, that is, I mean, I guess you want Aubrey and Q together, but like swap Angelina and Tiffany, because like Angelina, another finalist, right? I guess with, and then, you know, then you have Angelina and Mike White together, and then you have Tiffany and Q together. Like how did that not happen?
My only thinking is like it was intentional to not put, like, to not do that.
Pairs
right?
together. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, that's what you want to watch. You want to watch like them, like, you know, the drama of like them coming back together again.
I've always thought, this is a little off topic, but I've always thought, like, people always talk about a Survivor rival season, right? But it would be very dumb if you did 10 people on one tribe and their 10 rivals on another tribe. Nobody, like, you want to see them on a tribe with their rival, right? Is how you'd have to do it.
So you'd have like 3 tribes of 6 and then
something
3,
like that,
3 rivalries in each tribe.
But anyway, this tribe to me is kind of the most like, I think it's the least tribe I bet we spend time, like, it's the least tribe I kind of want to see, maybe. I don't know. I think we said the other tribe is Chaos. The other tribe has like Sari, Christian, Ozzy, Devin's got like more bigger names. I don't dislike this tribe. And I mean, Coach obviously is a big name. Mike White is a big
Mike White, yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting tribe to me. I can't even kind of guess who would be in an alliance on this tribe. Which I like, I guess, but like I can't think of a single,
I mean, you know, like, Coach and Jonathan, right?
That's what I'm saying. Coach and Jonathan, that makes so much sense.
But like Camilla's not going to join them. Mike White's not. I could see Mike White and Camilla having something.
Yeah,
and Charlie in that group.
Charlie, yeah.
But who's Chrissy riding with? Hero Mom.
I could see her going more with Coach and Jonathan.
Could she go with D?
Her and Tiffany are both from New Jersey.
Huge.
Oh, there's something. I think we might have like Charlie, Camilla, and Mike White as a trio, Coach, Jonathan, Chrissy as a trio, and then maybe you have like D and Tiffany in that like swing position. Maybe it's kind of a guess, but
yeah,
I mean, it'll come down to smarts and gameplay. Like, there is no, as you said, like you can't really make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of any of this, but you got some good enough brains. Like D, I think, is a strong player. Mike White has no chance of winning, but he's a strong player. You know, this will, I think, the opposite of you, Tommy. I think this would be the most fun tribe to watch.
Mike White is a Goliath. Jonathan, a little Goliath.
Yeah, true. 2 Goliaths. Mike White also, like, we're talking about Colby idol worship. Mike White's gonna have idol worship in another way where people are just gonna be trying to get on White Lotus because he does the cameos for Survivor players that he's played with or other random ones. But like, obviously, right off the bat, you're like, oh, you got to get Mike White out early, right? But then you're kind of,
I think, yeah.
Do you?
I kind of think he's the first one gone, to be honest. That's what I was going to say. Is I think out of everybody, Mike White would be my bet to be the first one gone.
Why though?
Because he's the only person, he's the only celebrity, right? Like, he's kind of, and I don't think he wasn't that personable. He wasn't good in the season that he was in.
No, he came in second.
I thought he was pretty good.
He was great.
Yeah.
He wasn't like an all-time player, but I thought he played
fine.
Well.
Like,
he's super likable.
The scuttlebutt around him was he kind of threw the final tribal in that season where like everyone wanted to vote for him, but then he kind of was like, no, don't vote for me. I feel bad, like taking money away from somebody else. And then like afterwards sort of, you know, regretted it because, you know, he was like, he could have won Survivor and, you know, like, it was a kind, generous thing he did in the moment. But then also like then afterwards, when you're like not around those people and they feel like less significant to you, he sort of was like, wouldn't it have been nice to actually be a Survivor winner instead?
Yeah, I think that people like same thing. Like it's gonna be it will be hard for people to, especially now. It's one thing then when he was Ned Schneebly, but now like creator of School of Rock, like it's gonna be harder to give him $1 million. I think he's almost somebody you would want to be at the end with, but I don't know if he's someone. He was like kind of a sneaky player, right? Like he's a strategic mind. He's not somebody that I'd be like, oh, Mike White's gonna be loyal to me the whole game.
And you might be worried about other people cozying up to him, right? Like, I feel like that's like the fear.
People will want to work with him. I think someone in the chat just said it. Like, you'll just be naturally, you just want to work with Mike White. Like, he seems approachable. We know he's likable. We know he's funny. It's just, I think Mike White will be an issue. Like, he'll be a problem, and it'll take someone with a brain to be like, we have to settle this Mike White issue before he gets too far.
He can't win. We all agree on that, right? He's my pick for not can't win.
I don't think anybody feels bad getting Mike White. Like, I think he's an easy outlier to get out.
I think you're right that like maybe Mike could have won when it was like even as like rich and famous as he was, like he was not the creator of the White Lotus. Now I think you're right that he can't probably
win. So like, but I don't think he's the first one out of this tribe. In fact, if I think anything, the first one out of this tribe is D. I think a winner that I don't know if she's the strongest player anyway. Like I think she's the first one out of this tribe, but Mike White is one that can't win. That makes any sense.
The thing is, she's just really good. Like I agree. Like theoretically, the winner should be the first out of every tribe, right? But also, they're the winners because they're really fucking good.
And especially like really charming, like really good at like getting people to like them.
So I mean, I could never see a world where Jonathan is out first, right? Because he's just so
that'd be insane.
Yeah.
I can see Camilla maybe being a first boot because again, she's recently on their mind as a very good player. You know that she's got Kyle waiting for her. There's a chance people are like, let's get Coach out of here. He's weird. But there's also a chance people are like, we love Coach. We got to play with Coach.
I don't think in a returning season like this with all veteran players, that'll be like, we need to play with Coach. I don't think they have bucket lists like that, but it's
Charlie would.
I guess.
I think Charlie would. I think Camilla maybe would. Maybe D.
I think they're just too smart to throw their game away for a chance to play alongside someone else.
I'm with you on Camilla being like the first one out of this group. Like, I think literally the last thing they saw was her being super devious, hiding in alliance the whole game, constantly trying to make big moves to upend the power structure. Like, if I'm on that group, like I loved her game. I want to watch her play. I hope it's not true. But me, like if I'm in this tribe, the person I want out first is Camilla for sure. Unless we're working together.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I don't. Charlie's interesting to me. I like Charlie. It seems like a nice, similar to Aubrey, nice guy. Follows me on Twitter. I feel bad talking bad about people, but like he's another guy who it's like I'm not dying to see Charlie play again. Like
I think that's not fair. I think I'm way more excited to see Charlie than like Aubrey. We've seen Aubrey 3 times.
It's coming off as an insult, and I actually mean it as a compliment. Like he's just so normal, Charlie. You know, like he's just so normal, and like I know Charlie's gonna do pretty well. Like I'm drawn to like I guess more of the chaotic characters in a returnee season like this. Like Kyle is almost similar, and I like Kyle. He's become friendly with Kyle, but he's like super normal. You know, it's like the people who I know, like, oh, you're just normal and good at the game. Where it's like there's less of like a wild card outcome from them.
You need to have a mix, though. You can't have.
No, I know.
You need all like coaches. I think the Kyles and Charlies make the Qs and coaches more like even crazier.
I agree. And did you guys see Christian's? Steven, maybe you did. Christian's breakdown.
Yeah, but can you remind me of what it was like?
I was
the big character.
Remember it exactly, but it was really
like
well put.
Narrator, like normal people was one of them. Like
it was where you had like he broke it down to where you had 4 groups of 6, where one group was like the normal people, and he's like, that's who I'm keeping my eye on is the Kyle, the Charlie, the D, and then you have like the quirky narrators, which is like Charlie, Devins, Mike White, I think was another one he had. Rizgod is another one. And then you have the challenge people, Colby, Ozzy, Jonathan, and then I'm trying to remember what the last.
No, you've got it. Actually, not Hunter Sample in the chat had it about 20 minutes ago. He's got the challenge beasts. You basically nailed him. Drama, which is Coach, Q, Rizzo, Savannah, Angelina, Jenna. witty commentators, which is Christian, Mike, Devins, Aubrey, Emily, and Camilla, and then like the threats to win. And yeah, there you go. Which is Suri, D, Genevieve, Charlie, Kyle, and Colby.
Yeah, so there it is in their second part. And yeah, I think that was obviously, I doubt that was very intentionally done. I doubt Survivor casting was like it's 6 of these. But I think it is a good look in how they usually probably try to cast this season.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I guess the normals are the ones where it's like what they are. They're just kind of normal and good. If I had to pick someone to win from this tribe.
Yeah, but Charlie, I'm with you. He's way too normal, and I don't think he played anything. He was on like a season with Jelinski, like it'll be interesting to see him play against real people, but he's going to have to show us a lot.
Isn't that good for this though? Like for
I mean, also, and I'll say this about Charlie, like there's a world where Charlie wins, like with Maria, like if she's not as bitter, right? Like that's today.
He should have won.
So he does deserve
one ally stopped him from winning, if you recall.
Yeah, I think Kenzie played well too. And I think Tiffany is obviously the bigger one on this cast. That's like, why is she back on this tribe?
Mm-hmm.
So, I take it back much. Again, Charlie, it's nothing personal. It's almost because you're too normal. But he is somebody that actually I think I might put him as my winner pick from this tribe.
He's mine. He's mine for those reasons you mentioned, honestly.
Yeah,
I will say there are more winner picks in Vatu, the purple one, that I would put multiple that I would put over Charlie. But for this tribe, it's Charlie.
I agree.
I feel like I'm going Tiffany here just because of the randomness. Like I don't think anyone's going to be too stressed about her. No one's going to have their eyes on her. But she actually played a really good game. She was super social. She was really strategic. She sort of got screwed by Q. Like she put all her eggs in this one basket, and then Q quit and I
was going to say it's almost like you can't call someone a great player if they put all their eggs in the Q basket.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. But she was on that crazy tribe where only 3 of them made it out. She was on that mess tribe. She didn't really have a lot of options. To be fair, Kenzie did win and was in that alliance also. But Tiffany was the bigger threat with her and Kenzie. Anyway, I feel like in this situation, Tiffany's not going to be as big a threat and has some winner equity.
Oh, she's definitely got, but now it's almost does she have such a low threat level that it becomes a threat? Are people nobody's ever going to get out Tiffany? We have to get out Tiffany. That there's so many layers to it. Also, I wanted to ask, I'll save it let's get through this tribe first, actually. And then I have a question for you, Steven. But so then John, did you give or did we all say Charlie besides Steven?
For winner?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. A lot of pressure, Charlie.
Yeah.
The person I think has no chance to win from this tribe.
Jonathan.
Mike White.
Shut your whole mouth. Don't say that.
Yeah, Mike White has 0 chance to win this. Everyone in this entire cast, he has the least chance to win.
Yeah, I think Mike too. I just don't think they're going to give $1 million to someone who already.
That's all.
Okay, yeah.
They're also not going to let Jonathan get to a point where he can
win individual
challenge. He's going to have to go at some point.
But Jonathan, he came in 4th. He
was one fire making challenge away.
He did way better than that physical.
They're not letting him get there.
Does. And he was up against baristas from Williamsburg, as we like to say. He wasn't even in. He didn't even have another kind of threat for him in the physical department.
And I don't know if you guys have seen the news, but Boston Rob gave Jonathan his how to win playbook before going on the island. So not only is Jonathan this big hunky man who sets Guinness World Records for most pull-ups, and he finished 4th in his season, he now has a playbook, the path to victory. So, if it's not Charlie coming out of this tribe, it's going to be Jonathan.
We've definitely seen how well Boston Rob's playbook worked for Philip when he tried it on Survivor 26.
I mean, it did for a little.
It actually worked pretty well. No, he did. It worked pretty well. He did pretty good.
Possibly follow a playbook in a whole different game of Survivor.
I know, but
I don't think you can, more or less. And then Jib Cut / person I'm most excited to see play again.
Seems like a no-brainer.
Coach feels too easy, but it's got to be. I mean, who am I kidding? It's fucking Coach.
It's
15 years since we've seen him play. It's got to be Coach.
Who do you say?
It's Coach or Jonathan. Just Jonathan being a challenge beast, but Coach just being Coach.
I mean, also we have a guy who played with Coach, who knows Coach better than 99.9% of the world.
I feel like Coach, whatever, he played 3 times, but like again, like within a very short time span. I feel like he's gonna have been saving up quotes, for the last 15 years to break out on this season. I think we're gonna get like he's gonna coach hard.
Do you keep in contact with him at all?
We'll exchange, the occasional text, but not so frequently, but like, enough that I feel like, we've got that like sort of deep castmate bond.
Right. What do you think his chances are?
I think he's actually got a pretty good chance. I mean, he was the dominant strategic force of, on South Pacific, in terms of like, obviously Sophie played an amazing game, but like he sort of ran that game, and that was a while ago. Now he's got a kid.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll be like more, empathetic, even like less of the, pseudo-religious stuff. I actually feel like coach could have a really good chance to win.
I kind of agree, which I know sounds crazy, but like he did, like you said, he basically could have won South Pacific, but he fell apart at Final Tribal. Like the famous story is that Jeff Probst brought back closing statements just because coach fumbled so bad.
So badly? Oh, God.
I don't know if that's true, but I feel
hilarious.
like you've never heard that before?
Mm-mm.
I feel like that might just be a Survivor Reddit.
I believe it.
Reddit
Jeff
thing.
loves coach.
Right. So that he did so bad that they're like, he was all right, closing statements are back, coach. What do you got? What do you got? And he still
Just try
lost.
again. Yeah. Run that back.
So yeah, I'll say I'm most excited to see him. I mean, and honestly, Chrissy was close. I always just liked Chrissy. I just always liked Chrissy. I'm glad she got another chance to play.
I'll be alone. I'm most excited to see Jonathan play again. I think he's such a unique. Well, obviously, it's challenge beast all the time, but he is the challenge beast of all challenge beasts in a lot of ways. So I love watching Jonathan. He's great.
I'm with you, Clemmer. I also think it's Jonathan. He's the only person who's really made me excited to watch challenges ever.
And I mean, it was such a weird season of Survivor. Everything's like these sob stories and all that stuff. Then they just cut to Jonathan doing his gorilla walk on the beach.
Yeah.
And then it just went back to, was it Marianne? It was like 45 minutes of Marianne crying, Jonathan doing a monkey walk, and then back to her crying.
No, it'd be like, yeah, like my son is at home with cancer. That Jonathan, one time I only benched 350. That was his sob story.
He's just a man, dude. He's just a guy's guy.
It's weird that they didn't have him on the challenge. I think because he was probably waiting to come back on Survivor. Like, I'm sure the challenge asked him. He's like the perfect guy to go on the challenge.
Yeah. It is interesting. I never even really thought. I don't watch the challenge, but that does seem like, from what I know about it.
Might be too dominant.
Like, it's too big. Yeah.
What I was going to ask before we get to the last tribe, how much do you think, two-part question, how much are pregame alliances going to be a thing? Like, because everyone knew the cast going into it for at least weeks before, right? I believe, I'm trying to remember exactly, but they knew the cast before. And two, how much will pregame alliances be spoken about? Because you remember in Survivor 40, they were like pretty openly talked about, if I remember correctly. The Poker Alliance, where it was like Rob, Tyson, like it was a change, which I liked, because pregame alliances, like I know Second Chances, you guys all found out live at the reunion, but you knew the people that were up for it. Like, so that was obviously a storyline that season. All stars, heroes versus villains, but I feel like it's never really addressed. Do you think pregame alliances will be a thing this year?
I think pregame relationships will be. Like I think, like I don't think like the phone call that went out the week before the cast was announced is going to make a difference. Like no one gives a shit about that. Yeah. But I feel like Ozzy and Suri having played together before, Aubrey and Suri having played together before. Christian and Emily know each other for playing Survivors Play Blood on the Clock Tower. So like they a lot of these people have like real relationships, and I do think those will be decisive. Like Stephanie and Suri have played like multiple seasons of shows together.
Yeah, it's I hope it's addressed. Like, I just hope that, like, I think that, like, again, we're talking cultural zeitgeist, but like, I think that if they're like, if people are like, yeah, actually, like, this guy texted me before and wants to be an alliance, like, I think that makes it more real. Like, that is what happened. Like, I know in an ideal world it doesn't happen, but it's impossible for that to happen. I just wonder how much it'll be addressed. All right, last tribe, the Sila tribe, I'm going to guess is how we're saying it, right? Sila? Sure. We're going to, listen, we go by orange, teal, and purple is how we're going to be going by the end of the season. But we've got Christian from David versus Goliath. Everyone remembers him, a guy that definitely would have been back sooner if not if they had a returning season. Suri needs no introduction, coming back for a record 5th time. Also has been on like every other reality show ever. Emily Flippin, an incredibly unique character from Survivor 45. Jenna the Borneo representation, also finished 3rd in All Stars to Rob and Amba. Joe, who everyone just saw on Survivor 48, coming 3rd. Ozzy, also his 5th time. Rick Devens, another guy like Christian, definitely would have been back. And then Savannah, who just won Survivor 49. Some big name. I mean, Suri and Ozzy on the same tribe. Is that those are some heavy hitters.
Man, don't sleep on Jenna. That's another one of those very, very, very early people who were in the real world like superstars. Jenna was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like she's like, that's a long time ago that she played, and the game has changed a lot, like I mean, I've seen her interviews and she's like, advantages, like I didn't need advantages, like I was before advantages, like, yeah, but that's the whole point, like advantages do change the game, and I feel like she was a little bit dismissive. I think there was a world where maybe Jenna comes back with some humility, is like, I need to learn this new game, but like the way she at least approached her interviews, and of course that doesn't determine how she's going to play the game, I felt like she was coming in like too arrogant for like having been out of it for so long. And then a lot of these people know each other just from like real life. Like, you've got again like Christian and Flippin, Suri and Ozzy. So I feel like Jenna's
Suri knows every cameraman. Suri knows everything.
Suri's not going anywhere for
There's
our time.
nobody Suri does not know on that island.
Yeah. I just had my book tour, and like I asked like people who came up to sign, like who are you most excited about seeing? And 99% of people said either Christian or Suri. Like those were like by far the 2 favorites.
Yeah, I think Suri is like another person for idol worship type thing. I mean, she literally like just makes her living off doing reality shows. It's like it's crazy at this point. I think another interesting, like, I think Christian and Devens are also like, they're kind of the same in my head. Not that they're very different people, whereas like Christian is, I'd say way more like nerdy, for lack of a better term, but like, and Devens is a little more like outgoing. I don't know.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm getting at. Like, and they also played believe back to back seasons. Yeah. And they're 2 guys that I think, and I actually saw Devens talk about this in one of his pregame press interviews, where if they came back a year after they played, ginormous target. Like I think Devens ginormous target on his back, because he was seen doing every Idols and Extinction Island, or whatever the hell it's called. And also, but now the fact that it's been a little while, they could sort of sneak under the radar a little bit. And you've got like a Suri you could point at, an Ozzy you can point at, the mysterious Savannah, who apparently just won the last season, the Emily, like I think they're in a pretty good spot on this tribe.
It wouldn't shock me if at least, episode 1, as long as Suri's on the show, if it's very focused on her, if like the entire show at the beginning is through her lens, because if they're trying to get more mainstream and pull in that traders audience and maybe the people who didn't watch, season 1 of Survivor, I could see it being heavily focused on Suri.
This is all the audience favorites, like Ozzy too. Like he's always like the one that like, it's like, I feel like every season that Ozzy's cast, like Jeff kind of, subtly slips it in there that he didn't really want Ozzy back again, but like CBS insisted that Ozzy come back again because he's such a big draw for the audience. You've got Ozzy, Suri, again, Christian, huge favorite. I think Devens was a big favorite with the casuals, and Joe was a huge favorite. I think like the super fans didn't love Joe, but like he was a huge favorite with like the casuals.
The Facebook people love Joe.
This is the face. Like I think I agree with you guys. Like this is going to be like the main point of view tribe, and I think like Suri's going to be like the main. Like I totally buy that. Like she's like the POV character. Like this is all like the big favorites.
I've seen Survivor Twitter turn on 48 and Joe so hard, and I just give standing ovations in my living room. That was insufferable to watch that alliance happen, and I don't want to get into it, but I root heavy against Joe for how he played the game.
So someone in the chat just said, I hope Joe goes early. I almost think Joe, if I had to pick somebody that I think is definitely going to make the merge, I might choose Joe, and my reasoning for that is, one is physically, he's not like, you're going to want to keep him around in the beginning. Good challenge
this
player, good around camp. And 2, even more importantly, you just saw him play a game all about honor and integrity and about how he would never want to betray an ally. If I'm on that tribe with him, he's the first person I'm going to.
No
he's
joke.
The perfect ally.
He was borderline disqualifiable for how he didn't even want to win the game. He was playing for other people to win.
And listen, we could talk about how we hate it from an audience perspective, but as a player perspective, I'm cozying up right next
100%.
There's two ways to look at that, though, Tommy. One way is you're right. You could right away. But if you're not in his good side, you know that he's never going to bend. So I want him gone.
I think you try to get on his good side, and if you can't, you get.
And if everyone in this tribe, to me, Joe is the one the least likely to win.
Really?
Yes, because he has just zero strategy.
Oh, that's an interesting take, Clemmer.
I don't think there's any way he wins. Watch, he's gonna win.
He's such a people pleaser, and like it worked. The way he played worked for him.
He had an unbelievable social game.
Yeah,
he did, but this group is different. These are really smart people.
Everyone. Yeah, and he is fresh in their minds.
And I also just think him being charming only goes so far when the group is this smart.
I hope so.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we really did see that he did not have a great strategic game. You know, he had a really, really great social game, very strong physical game. And I agree that this group, like you can see a few people who would vote for like the strong, loyal guy who gets to the end. I mean, honestly, you could see Coach voting for that person. You could see like Jonathan voting for that person. Colby, obviously. But like, is he going to get the majority of the votes? It's pretty unlikely. I mean, you'd really have to have a very niche jury.
I think on this tribe, Joe and Jenna feels like a very natural alliance where Jenna, like old school, Joe, kind of an old school player in a degree. Like I could see them teaming up. I could see Savannah wanting to like cut Joe's throat. I feel like Savannah, if we're comparing new era players, like I feel like Savannah hates that.
Yes.
Hates all that shit. You can't predict which way Ozzy's gonna go. Suri.
Ozzy's gonna bro down with Joe, right? Like they're just gonna,
You think?
No, they're both from California. I mean, I don't know. They're both kind of like challenge guys.
Yeah, I could see that, but I also could see like I can't predict what Ozzy's going to think about anything. I could also see Ozzy being, I don't like this guy.
Yeah, like maybe he's like
Ozzy and Suri played twice together. That's just nuts.
Yeah, I mean for sure they're going to be tight. Like, why wouldn't they be?
Yeah, and imagine all the other Survivor stuff they've done probably since then too. They've been just such huge fan favorites and part of the Survivor world for so long that I have to assume that those two are gonna either win or lose together. I'm guessing.
Yeah. They're also like shields for each other.
Yeah.
You know,
and I'm all in on Christian, Flippin, and Dev. Like these are my like three closest real life friends on the cast. Like the fact that they're all in a tribe together is unbelievable to me. Like I'm actually like really good friends with all of them, and so like I'm hoping that they there's a Fishbach alliance. No, I'm hoping that they like team up.
You definitely don't lie. You definitely in your head. I'm like there's going to be a major plot of the season is going to be the Fishbach alliance.
That's I hope they call it that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like every confessional. Like I mean the Fishbach alliance. This Fishbach alliance is the most dominant alliance we've ever seen in the history of the game.
Yeah. I don't know. That might be a curse though. Yeah.
So knowing all them, how do you break down their games? Like going into it, like or out of those three, like. I guess maybe the bit more of a question for Christian and Devins, but like, how do you think they've evolved as people since they've last played?
Yeah, I mean, Christian, I think both of them, I think you nailed it. Like they would have both been big threats. I think they're going to be able to sort of like bridge that gap between the old school and the new school. I sort of see them playing the middle. And like they're just also likable. I mean, Devins is so charming. They're just like all so like, especially. I mean, I don't know if I would call Emily, whom I love dearly. I don't know if she's like likable. I don't know if like that's the adjective for her, but like, certainly like Devins and Christian, like, and I feel like will get along with everybody, people. And I don't know who's going to be outcast out of the gate.
Yeah, there's no obvious, like, I guess Emily is the most quirky and unique of the group. Like, if you're going to think of like who could be outcast, but she did get a lot better as season 45 progressed. Yeah, I don't know if there's a clear. I don't know who would be like the clear. Like no. I mean, Suri is just going to use her. Like people should just get Suri out first, but like it never happens.
She's also never won. Like it only goes so far with her.
Yeah, but she's gotten like Game Changer, she got notoriously screwed more than anyone's ever been screwed in the history of screwings.
And same with 16, same with Fans versus Favorites, where like they changed it at the last minute to a final 2 instead of a final 3.
I think there's a way bigger target on Suri than you're giving it credit for.
Oh, there's a ginormous target on
no,
Suri.
Like I could see just them all being like, I've seen her face way too much over the last 10 years. Get her out of here.
Fair. But you also know what you're going to get with her, though. There is, like with Savannah, they don't even know what she is. Like, they don't know anything about her. With Suri, you kind of know, I don't know. She wouldn't be first out for me unless it was a challenge situation where it was just so physical that maybe I felt like she couldn't keep up.
One thing I've never really understood, and I guess you've never been on a season where there were past winners, because the other season you came back for was literally the whole thing was nobody's
all
won.
Losers.
But but I've always thought it's weird how like whenever there's a returnee season, I feel like maybe it was Game Changers that it was the most prevalent on, but like and here's there's feelings like get out the winners. Like why?
Well, that was famously All Stars, right? Jenna Lewis famously like really went like hard on the get out the winners thing.
But it's just like what, right? Like why? You know, like okay, they're good. Obviously, if you win, you're good. But there's a lot of other really, really good players that haven't won. I think, and honestly,
I think it's like a group thing where you can just rally a group to say, let's get rid of these people. We're not them, they're them. We have the numbers, get rid of them.
I was gonna say it's almost just it really just encapsulates Survivor as a whole, where you're always looking for any reason to vote somebody out that isn't you. And the fact that you could just be like, that person's a winner, we're not winners. But when you really break it down, like you shouldn't not want to work. And there's even you could even argue there's a school of thought where like maybe if you get to the end with a winner, maybe are they a little less likely to win? You know, maybe would the jury not want to? I don't think.
Or did they win because they're such good public speakers and they can kind of work their case out well? You don't want to go up against that.
Yeah, so you know, I guess that would probably depend on the player, but I've just always thought it's an interesting thing. But yeah, I mean, it could screw Savannah early, but she's also pretty charming.
I mean, she had such an incredible social game that everybody. I mean, I feel like people forget about her great social game because it wasn't as featured at the second half of that season. But in the early days of that season, like she was like the dominant force on her tribe. That said, like. My two to be out first are either Savannah or Jenna. I could be convinced either way, just because I don't see any natural ties for them.
Yeah, it's just like, why would you vote out Jenna though?
Yeah. I could see her being a grump.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
it's just like I don't think she's gonna like even from pregame interviews. It's like I don't think she's gonna be out there being like, I'm going Tony mode or whatever. I'm gonna be like this season. Like she's just kind of gonna be there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think like Devins to me, or I don't know. Christian is probably, if you had to target someone, I think I would target Christian because he's good at the game, he's likable, and he doesn't provide you anything in challenges.
Well, he's going to be great at the puzzles, right? Like he's in like every Survivor challenge now ends in a puzzle. Like, and you have like the great, like one of the puzzle superstars of all time. I think
that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that angle.
Can't believe he's 40. I always just
he also had he was good in challenge, wasn't he? The one who was standing up on the cross.
He had the thing versus Alec, very famous. But you know, I don't even think Christian would be offended by us saying that he's not looked at as a challenge beast.
I like the idea that Christian was the one on the cross.
He won a handful of challenges for people.
He did, but like I you know, he's going to be like standing next to Jonathan at some point this season, and I think people are like, that one might be better at challenges.
I do think if you want to like buy into the. Which I obviously don't think is real, but like if Survivor's going to script somebody winning, it's going to be Suri, right?
Yeah, I mean they're not going
to. Yeah,
I know, but like I think that's like something to go with. Maybe I mean I obviously don't think they're doing that, but like Suri is like the draw for this show for people who aren't Survivor.
Totally.
Like, and there's so many draws on this show. Like I know she's the biggest draw. I get that, but like you can argue like
but I think she's I think for people who, because I'm newer to Survivor than you guys, I think she is a much bigger draw for people like me than like you guys would realize. Maybe.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And I think they definitely want her to
for what it's worth. Like for what it's worth, like I am by far the most excited to watch Suri.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so. I am too. You would say like Survivor's 50th season. The girl who got off her couch, famously, as Jeff likes to say, got off
Yeah,
her couch,
right.
playing for a 5th
So-
time, finally gets her win. Yeah,
Bro,
it'd be the
She
story
hasn't
of a
seen
fan-
her house since she went on Survivor. She's always on it.
Yeah.
Holy
She
shit.
got off her couch and never came back.
What the hell she need a couch
She was
for?
on Big Brother with her son. Her
Yeah.
son sucked.
What
I don't know if
what
anybody
happened
watched
there?
it.
Like someone, her son, like stabbed her in the back or something.
I forget how it went,
never
but he
watched
was
Big Brother.
extremely unlikable.
She pulled a Sierra, voted out her mom. So this tribe,
So winner pick from this tribe.
yeah, winner, Steven, who you got?
I got to go Rick Devens. I mean, he's like a really close friend, but also I think he is kind of like the perfect Survivor package. I think he's actually like very good at the challenges, which maybe you wouldn't expect. He's got the idol sense, which is invaluable. He's really charming socially, and he's got a great strategic mind for the game. And also, I feel like he's in that sweet spot with like the mid-30s contestants where, you know, he can kind of like bounce around between the eras. So I'm feeling good about him.
Do you
I
know
think
if he did any special prep leading up to going onto the show?
I don't. Maybe he worked on Fire, but like honestly, he did great at Fire. He just happened to like be up against, you know, Chris Underwood, who, you know, I think made the fastest Fire ever, except for maybe Heidi beat him at some point. But anyway,
Chris Underwood, obviously the best winner in Survivor history.
yeah, exactly. He's the most efficient winner. The fewest days
Yeah.
played for like the most
Honestly,
win.
yeah. Days per win, he's incredible. I'm gonna piggyback you. You've convinced me. I'm gonna go on Devins, and also it's kind of process of elimination for me. I think Suri and Ozzy are too big of names. I don't think Joe's got the killer instincts. Christian too big of a threat. Emily, Jenna, Savannah too big of a threat. Yeah, I think I'd have to go Devins. I think I have to go Devins.
He's almost like a Charlie, where it's like you don't see him getting into altercations with people. You don't see him.
No, he's more of a rabble rouser than Charlie, I would say.
It's just,
I think that might be the first time the word rabble rouser has ever been used on Stuffing Torches, but it came to me and it felt right. He is like he would like, you know, I'm trying to remember his season, Steven, you know, but he would like kind of not like beef with people in a legit way, but be like,
Stir the pot. He was having fun. Yeah.
It's just
I'm gonna not pick him because you guys both did. Savannah, no. Christian, no. Suri, no. Flippin', no. It's gonna be fucking Joe, man.
Wow.
After all that.
Didn't you say
I'm
Joe?
ju-
Someone had said Joe had no chance of winning.
Me.
Oh, it was clever.
Yeah.
Okay.
No chance.
If there's no Joe haters left on Earth, that means I'm dead. But at the same time, he's such a people pleaser and he's such a man of honor. I could just see it happening.
I don't think this group wants a man of honor. This is a
I hope right.
Survivor like great group of players. They respect gameplay more than that. My pick is Christian. I think you're wrong, Tom. He's like he's too big of a threat. Not in this group. Not with these players. There's a lot of threats here. Everyone's a threat. So I think being a threat, especially he's compared to these other people, he's really not. I think he could. Him and Devins are the two of this group that I think could win, like by far. Then it's a big drop off for me.
He's just a threat for how likable he is. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna get out pre-merge, but like when you get down to like 7 people, you're gonna
But
look
who are
around
the
and you're
7
like,
though? Like who of this group? No. But my point is, who of this group though? The other 6 people will also be pretty big threats.
But I think
The roster is just so talented.
I think he's the most, honestly, of the whole cast, you could argue he's the most like uniquely likable. Like you look at him and he truly encompasses like the David from David versus Goliath. Like he is the definition of the scrappy underdog, just even in a physical sense of the word, and he's also very charming and endearing, and where it's like, I don't want to sit next to that guy at a final tribal. I like, even though Kyle or Genevieve might be a better player, it's like I'd almost rather fucking roll the dice against them than Christian. I don't know. Maybe I'm. What are you're nodding, Steven?
Yeah, no, I mean, I see that. I think that like that was Christian's whole thing in David versus Goliath was like everyone. He was just like, I mean, to be fair, like that theme was like he was like literally the David of the Davids.
Right.
So, but like even so, like, and he's so sweet. Like he's such like a loving, sincere, sweet guy that I worry that could like work against him.
Yeah. Nate or John Rich?
I think I did mine. No.
Oh yeah, sorry, John Rich. You're muted. You're muted. John Rich, you're muted. Can you not hear us?
Sorry. I got a cat meowing in the background. I'm not going away from Suri. I think Suri's going to win this whole thing.
Wow.
I love how much John Rich loves Suri.
I don't think people really like care to vote her out. Like they might want her to win more than they want to win themselves.
Wow. All right.
I mean, you sort of saw that with Lisa on, Australia, Australian Survivor, Australia versus the world. Like she was like, I'm so excited to play with Suri that she basically tanked her. I mean, to some degree, tanked her own game. Yeah.
She's just so goddamn charming.
Yeah. People just want her to like them.
And then person I don't think has a chance to win. I'm not going to take Suri. It's got to be Ozzy, right? I think Ozzy, though, does have the Colby factor where I was talking about earlier. Like everything I said about Colby earlier, you could basically copy and paste and say about Ozzy.
Which was no good things at all.
But also that he could accidentally win.
I might go flipping, even though she's a real life friend. Like I feel like she can do really well at this game. She's very, very strategic. But I don't know. This is something a little like I don't know if she's got that like unctuous, ingratiating quality that you kind of like makes you want to. Like JT said to me, like the jury has to want to vote for you. Right. Like you have to like make them want to vote for you, and then they're gonna find a reason afterwards, right? Like they're gonna find a reason if they want to vote for you. And I don't know if Flippin has that, and I think also like again, like she doesn't have kids. I do think that will hurt on this jury. Whatever the jury, I don't know what the jury is, but like looking at this cast, so I don't know. I might pick Flippin as much as I hate to say that.
I like that, but I don't want to take the same one. I'm gonna go Christian. Everything I just said I like Christian a lot. I never met him, but just from watching the show. But for everything I just said about why he won't win, I'm gonna say the anti-Clemmer pick.
What do you
got?
I'm going to go Ozzy because if I'm sticking with they're not going to want to vote Suri out. They'll go for Ozzy instead.
I'm sticking with Joe for no chance.
Oh, yeah, Joe was good. Joe might be better than Flip. Maybe I'll go Joe.
Yeah,
I'll flip back to Joe. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to say Ozzy's name out loud, but it's just like
okay, he's not here.
But I think everybody's such like an Ozzy guy, but we've watched him play and he's never, he's not jumping off the page as a winner, especially now. It'll be cool to watch him fish, but I don't think he's going to win the game.
He was one vote away in Cook Islands. He was right there.
His first season, but since then it was like, I just remember like Ozzy was so hyped, and then you watch him come back and play. You're like watching the rookie who hit 40 home runs come back and hit 220 with 19 home runs. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, like if it's him versus Jonathan in like a challenge, and like it's gonna be like watching like your dad get beat up or something. Like, oh, no, Ozzy, like come on, Ozzy, get up, get up.
Not nice.
And then person I'm most excited to see. I gotta fucking go Suri. Who am I kidding?
Mm-hmm.
See, I think that answers Ozzy. If it's just like, your favorite band gets back together, you just want to see them play the hits. It's like, go fish, Ozzy, catch the big fish. So I don't know. It's exciting to watch.
I'm with you, Nate. I'm going to go Ozzy here. I didn't think we were going to get a chance to see him play again. So I'm kind of like, all right, I like one more dance of Ozzy.
I'm going Rick. Like again, real life friend. Beyond that, you're
not real life friends with.
But even like I just rewatched his episode that they aired on CBS on Edge of Extinction. He's just so fun. Like he like brings so much like humor and comedy to like everything. He always had a big smile on his face. He would like even when they were messing with him, he would always just sort of like turn it around. They were like,
you know what? He's the reason we got like Jam and stuff like that. He's the reason.
So different.
He's the reason we get these like comedic sidekicks instead of good players now.
But he was a good player.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, they try to copy it and they just keep striking out on like replicating him.
Yeah. But otherwise, Suri was like one of the, the great. I mean, like it's like she was like one, like watching her is always so thrilling. She's like truly like the best. The fact that she hasn't won does not take away from the fact that I think she's like the best Survivor social player.
Also, by the way,
of all
I just
time.
said a winner. I said Jam Jam. I know he won. Not who I was thinking. I was
Jam Jam played a great game.
I know.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I
Who
think
am
you're
I
thinking of
thinking
Bonu.
Yeah, you meant bot. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bonnie.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so racist to me. I'm sorry. Like it's
it's more
But
racist
no,
to me
not
that I
Jam
knew exactly who you were talking.
I know. I it's like the fourth time I've done that too. I'm sorry.
And John Rich, I assume you're Suri too.
Yeah, but I've talked about her too much. I like Christian a lot. Just he was. Have you seen somebody better at puzzles than him?
He's up there.
No, who was on a recent
I
season?
felt like
Was it
he was
Carson who made their own puzzles.
The guy who 3D printed.
Oh,
his own-
Carson, yeah.
He
He
was up there
was
too.
practicing. You know, it's a little different.
Yeah.
But Christian just being like
LJ?
such an underdog and then just catching up, winning things on puzzles alone. I'd love to see him do that again. That was a lot of fun. I was a big fan of him in his season.
I'm taking, like I said, Suri. The only argument against Suri is that if you turn on any TV channel at any time of the day, there's a chance you could see Suri playing some reality show.
Probably winning.
So it's not like we've been longing for Suri content, but I'll take her. All right, and then just end. But let's just do one overall winner pick.
It's not just that. Like we couldn't even go to Tommy's. Like I'm on fake Survivor without Suri being there. She's just
Yeah, that's
she's
true.
the
She was
Survivor
at, like,
boogeyman. She's everywhere.
She's gonna win. That's my winner pick. I'll get it out of the way. Suri.
overall winner pick.
Wait,
You-
overall
someone
for the
else go.
whole
Yeah,
for the
just-
whole show.
yeah, we don't have to go through.
I'm actually gonna say Rick, not for friendship reasons. I truly believe he's in the like sweet spot here. I truly believe Rick is in the sweet spot of like not too threatening, really good. Like truly, like maybe D otherwise. Like that would be my backup pick for winner.
I'm on Genevieve. I think Genevieve has she's in I think a really good spot to win this thing.
I love the Genevieve pick. I think we both said that last time too, like in the
Yeah, in her
Isn't
season.
she just such a big threat? All anyone
Yeah.
talks about for the past 3 years, I feel like, is how good Genevieve was at Survivor.
Everybody in this show is a
No
threat,
offense
Tommy.
to
It's what you're kind of
Genevieve, but, like,
missing.
she came in fucking fifth. Like I liked Genevieve. I'm starting to be soured on her as like the way people talk about her. You would think she is like Boston Rob and Suri had a
But-
baby.
it's like she's in the perfect spot where she didn't win, but she's such a good player and she understands the
Everybody's
game.
talking about how good of a player she is.
She's a lawyer, Tommy.
Oh, yeah, she's-
Yeah, but you
I
keep
love-
bringing up the fact that she's this big threat. Like you seem to be missing that. Like everybody here is a threat. Like that's not a reason.
Really. Like she's. I think she's such a recent threat too, is what hurts her.
Someone
But
had to win
so
winners
is
at
Savannah.
work.
So is like
Yeah.
and they haven't even seen her play.
Tony was a big threat in 40.
Yeah, I guess. But Genevieve's not Tony. Like I don't know. That's what
Like we just saw Kyle and Camilla. Like that's it fresh in people's minds.
I think
You know
Tony's
who
threats as
she's
well.
Tommy, she's Boston Rob. That's who she is. She's Boston Rob. She's gonna win.
Yeah, I again, I thought she was really good, but the way people talk about her, it's like, all right, let's everyone settle down. I'm gonna take. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going all in with Colby. It's so
All
stupid.
right, here, okay.
It's so
All right,
dumb.
Then you're just.
You know what? I'll take Charlie.
Just
I'll
be
take
an idiot.
Charlie.
I was gonna
you
flip
took
to
Colby.
Charlie too.
I'm gonna
I was
take
flip to
Charlie. I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
it's
Charlie.
a good choice.
But I'm telling you, and coming
Charlie,
into this
Charlie,
podcast-
meanwhile, Tommy, on the same show, you said, "Oh, I don't know why Charlie's on the show." Basically,
That's-
you're like,
not because
Okay,
I said he was a
thinking
bad
to win.
player.
I'm
It
just-
wasn't because I said he was a bad player.
oh, well,
Because I
like,
think it's so.
now
It's
you
going to be
think
so
he's gonna win.
boring.
Maybe
how
that's why he's on
easily
the
he-
show.
It's going to be so boring how easily he wins. That's why I didn't think he should have been on the show. I'll take Charlie as my real winner pick, but I coming into this, I'd be like, Colby might be like one of my bottom 5 0.0 chances to win. But the more I just talked about it out loud, I was like, this motherfucker might be able to do it.
So
But
okay,
I'm taking Charlie.
do a winner, a real winner, and then like a dark horse pick. So like I would
Charlie
pick
and Colby.
Genevieve. I would pick Genevieve as a winner, and then Jonathan as a dark horse pick.
Oh,
Because Colby has no chance, and Charlie has a very good chance.
If my dark horse be like, is Rizzo a dark horse enough? Is that a good
Yeah,
one? Or-
definitely.
Yeah.
I think
about
Rizzo
Coach?
can. I think
Oh, sorry.
Rizzo.
Coach, I'd say it's a dark horse.
Yeah.
Rizzo winning would be stunning.
Clemmer, what were you going to say about Rizzo? Sorry, I cut you off.
I think that
super regular. I think.
he's in an interesting spot where they know he didn't win. I think he's personable enough to like win over people, And while he is young, and I know it's kind of maybe you could argue is a negative, it could be a positive where he's going to be different and more enthusiastic, where he is the youngest person on this tribe. I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing in the world here. I don't think he's going to win. I think he's a good dark horse pick.
I like this. Charlie could win just to get the Swifty audience. Like they had the NFL rigged it for the Chiefs.
The Travis Kelce of Survivor.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to cover?
I'm good. Read Steven's book.
That's right.
I
Yes.
was gonna let him. Yeah. Do.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, you presented me a perfect pitch opportunity.
Yeah. Give the people a
ball.
final plug on everything you want.
If you're like an hour and a half or hour and 40 minutes into a Survivor podcast, you will like this book. I can feel pretty comfortable saying you will enjoy this book. Like it's a very deeply enmeshed in the world of jungle reality TV. It's about like a has-been. It's about a 40-something has-been reality contestant who goes back on a jungle reality show to recapture his former glory. So it's like literally about, similar to all these people we're talking about, as well as myself.
I was gonna say, how old are you, Steven?
Yeah, I'm older than he's 44. I'm 47, so it's not really related.
Totally.
Yeah. But yeah, truly, like I feel like pretty confident. I wouldn't say like no book is for everyone, but if you are an hour and 40 minutes into this podcast, I do think this is a book for you.
And where can the people find you on social, and where can you buy bookstores? Yeah.
X.com. Oh, StephenFishbach.com. Or the book should be in your local bookstore or any online bookseller, but you can go to StephenFishbach.com. That's fish like the animal, then Bach like the composer. But I've squatted on all the different, BACKs, STEVENs. So you can't go wrong. Yeah.
All right.
I'll give one final take. The ultimate 0.00000 has 0% has to be Q.
I could see him putting it all together.
No way.
I thought he could have won the 46.
Yeah.
I wasn't out on him on 46 if he got to the end.
Way.
If he didn't choose to quit for no apparent reason, he had a shot.
That blew up his game.
Dude, he
Mike
has
White is the answer for that, by the way.
not only does
0.0.
Q not have a head on his shoulders, he hasn't shown anything that he's changed.
No, but he was like kind of strategic, and he was like good at like kind of. I feel like he was good at reading people's bullshit. And is that am I misremember? I feel like he was able to like kind of see through people.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, he like really good reads.
Like that's a skill you can't learn. That's a skill you either have or you don't. And he has it.
But I think he might just think everybody is bullshit. So he's bound to
that is true as well.
But to Nate's point, like I feel like the characters who are like applauded for being characters will come back like bigger their second time, in the way that Coach on Heroes versus Villains came back as like the bigger version of Coach in a way that was like really bad for his game. I could see Q kind of leaning into like the chaos Q and that really blowing up for him.
Just not having that stable head on his shoulders. Like the amount of times he quit, I'll never get over that. It blew my mind. So that I just have some weird thing against Q for all that.
Nate, Jonathan's more of a 0 than
you're a 0. Get out of here.
I'm sorry.
All right, sorry. One last question that you probably don't want to answer, but it's in the chat. Maybe you've answered this before, but who was more dominant in their win against people you played with, JT or Jeremy?
I think Jeremy was probably more dominant as a player. Like Jeremy like ran the game. Like people would like literally refer to him as like the big cheese, or like Abby would say the big apple, but she meant the big cheese. Yeah, I feel like Jeremy was like a dominant player. JT was like a more like, it may not have seemed that way, but he was kind of like a more like scrappy player.
Okay. All right, that 1 week away 3-hour episode, I believe next Wednesday,
really?
the 25th. That would be.
Are we gonna go live after that episode?
Yeah, we'll be live. We're gonna be live. Try to be live every Wednesday night, all season long. Hopefully, we get the screeners again. So if we have to pre-record, but yeah, it's a big season, so we'll definitely give you guys as much content as possible. Thank you again to Steven for joining.
Thank you. This was super fun.
Yeah, sorry about the whole kid mode fiasco at the beginning to anyone who was here for that, but we made it through. See you guys next week. Like, subscribe, and 7 days away.